Ron DeSantis said that. But he basically he said that Trump set up the inflation that we have now. What's your thoughts?
I would like to have somebody explain that to me or read me the numbers. I'm not familiar with what he's talking about. I think he's full of crap.
I just can't vote for anybody that's stupid.
I would like to know his basis for saying that, because Trump's not the one that come in on day one and reversed every single thing and made everything go up in a single stroke of a pen. That was Joe Biden. He come in and started saying how bad oil companies were, and he was going to shut them all down, and he was going to stop this and stop that and prevent this and X and A, and then the next morning every single thing goes up. The day after Election Day, everything was skyrocketed because a Democrat won for president. And all of a sudden, everything went up for no other reason but that.
And I'll say this, because Facebook's probably going to put the fact check in there when I say this. That we brought this up. So yes, prices did go up a little under Trump toward the end of his presidency, but it was because of COVID. COVID wrecked the economy.
As you know, came from China.
And it was manufactured.
I ordered some parts today before I left to come here. And he said it was probably going to be on a 6 to 10 week back order because of the rise of COVID, which in turn he then said was mostly because of this stupid auto workers strike. So they're still using the same excuse over and over and over. I just wish they would come up with a different excuse, because I'm tired of hearing it. I'm tired of hearing, oh, well, that's not available, or this part's not available, or it's on a back order, and it's just getting old. I mean, you could just tell, and a lot of places will still let you order something, and it's come in, and oh, well, I ordered some seats for a truck. And I think they were supposed to be delivered on November the 17th, so it's still out. It's not here yet. And I ordered these in September, and it said in stock, ready to ship, and then it said 3 to 5 days shipping, but then it's not going to be here till October 16th. So the 3 to 5 day shipping means once we actually get it and it's ready to ship to us from someone else, then once we get it, we'll send it, and it'll be 3 to 5 days once we send it. And if they would be upfront about that, it'd be nice. But they just want their money, just like everybody else.
Yeah, they just want their money. They don't want the.
And then their customer service is going to crap.
Well, so what do you think about John? Is it John F. Kennedy?
John F. Kennedy's dead.
Lee
Harvey Oswald killed him.
You
talking about RFK?
RFK Jr. I'm sorry. I got that Joe Biden going on.
You got Joe Bidenitis.
I got hairy legs that turn blonde in the sun.
And keep those to yourself, please. I don't really know. I mean, he's definitely better than Joe Biden. Don't get me wrong. I mean, my shoe is better than Joe Biden.
Well, that's true.
But he's
my toilet is better than Joe Biden.
He's a Democrat. It makes about the same.
It cleans up all the crap.
He's a Democrat at the end of the day, and I'm not going to vote for a Democrat. I don't care. Unless I die and somebody votes for me, I'm not voting for a Democrat. So I don't really know. I don't really keep up with him too much. But I think now he's running as an independent.
Yeah, he moved to independent.
They're giving him so much crap.
Well,
which is probably more centered with what he's actually believes in and what the Democratic Party actually used to stand for, especially back when his uncle was president.
Yeah.
Before the CIA killed him. Anyway. But no, I don't really keep up with him too much. But like I said, I think he's probably a lot better than Joe Biden. But at the end of the day, he is a Democrat, and that's not going to happen. Not for me, anyway.
Well, I think it was kind of make or break for him. I think because he was out of the news for a good while. I think he was out of the news for over a month. People hadn't talked about him. His social media traffic wasn't up like it was at the start.
It's more or less a an attempt to stay relevant and
I feel like a lot of people from both sides liked him, but then he attacked Trump, and that all went to crap. So
well, yeah, whether you like Donald Trump or not, you don't have to like Donald Trump. I'm not going to beg you to like Donald Trump, but walking up on stage and the first thing that comes out of your mouth is just how bad Donald Trump is, regardless of what side you're on. That's not a good move. Why do you get up there and start talking bad about somebody else, and why don't you get up there and talk good about yourself, or say something good about somebody, or what you can do that's good that will actually help people, instead of getting up there and pointing and calling names like a 3-year-old? And that goes for both sides, or all 3 or 4 sides, or however many sides there is now.
So this is interesting. Recently, Larry Elder, who was also in the race, a lot of people didn't know that, but he was in the race, and he recently has suspended his campaign, despite the fact that we didn't see him on television that much or see him campaigning. I may not have seen him do things, but... So he has suspended his campaign to get behind Trump. What do you think about that?
It's probably a realization that I am wasting my time. I am not going to get anywhere, despite my best efforts, and I'm going to try to join the winning team before it's too late.
You think he wants to be the vice president?
I don't know that will happen. But
who do you think should be Trump's?
That's what I was fixing to say. I don't know who would be a good choice.
Well, I can give you a list of some of the people that people of online have said. There was Vivek, and there was Hey, this one's a funny one. Tucker Carlson.
That'd be a roundhouse.
Oh my Lord, that would be the most hilarious. That would be and Fox would have to report about it. Lately, Fox,
the guy we fired is now second in command of the entire United States. Wow, we screwed up.
It'll probably never happen, but that is fun to think about.
I don't know. As far as I'm concerned, unless anything crazy happens, Donald Trump's going to get the Republican nomination for president. And I don't know that he'll pick anybody off of the stage up there. I think maybe... I'm not sold on old Ramaswamy just yet. I don't, and it's not the whole, he's Middle Eastern, I could care less if Barney the dinosaur was a good politician. I'd vote for him. I don't care.
What?
But I definitely think there would be a few that would be good. But I don't know. If I had to pick right now and write a name on a ballot, I don't have any idea who I would write just right now.
Well, let me ask you this. Do you think the other political candidates on the Republican side are running because they're afraid that because they think that Donald Trump is going to get taken off the ballot?
That is definitely a possibility.
Because the indictments, they're pushing bullcrap indictments on him, and for what? You don't have any proof. You have no proof that he's done anything.
Yeah, that's the Democrat way of doing stuff. You don't have to have proof. You just have to say somebody did something, and then all hell breaks loose. But I think that's a valid point. I think maybe they are trying to get their foot, because I don't think anybody up there legitimately thinks that they can beat Donald Trump if he was the nominee. If it came down to them and them, surely to God they don't literally think that he can lose to any of them up there.
Well, Larry...
but I think definitely... I like Tim Scott, and I'm not saying that just because he's from South Carolina, where we're from, but I have heard a lot of good things about Tim Scott, and I like to see what he says, and he's one of the only ones that gets up there and doesn't start pointing fingers. He'll defend himself and bring up a point or two, and then usually he has the facts to back it up. Like he did that on Nikki Haley that day. He pulled up all of her stuff and kind of threw it back in her face. But I think he's a solid option. I don't know if he's necessarily the quote-unquote from Donald Trump bomb the shit out of him type. But I think he's a solid choice, I think, if you're going to pick one. But it certainly wouldn't be Chris Christie. That's for darn sure. And it would not be Nikki Haley. Now, I don't know about the rest of them.
It's about this. There's, I believe it or not, there is a second Democrat running for president. And
I saw that today. I don't remember his name, but
there's a woman running too.
Oh, no, I didn't know
is
about
a woman.
That's probably not going to go over well unless somebody pushes. I mean, Joe Biden falls down a flight of stairs. I don't know what their plan is. They're trying to get him reelected. I don't know exactly what's going to happen if that does happen. I can tell you stuff's just going to get more expensive. Stuff's going to get more crazy. And then if he does get reelected by some stroke of, I don't want to call it luck, but if he does get reelected, then he's probably going to fall down a flight of stairs, and then you see what we'll be stuck with for president.
Where even is Kamala Harris?
She doesn't know.
Hey. All right, I got it. So, Marina Williamson.
Never heard of her.
Marina Williamson is running for president. She is an American author, speaker, humanitarian, and presidential candidate.
She's probably a Fruit Loop.
She began her professional career as a spiritual leader in the Church of Today in Utah.
Oh, she's from Utah? Oh, yeah, she's a wackadoodle.
Not much of a.
That ain't not one normal thing. Have you ever Googled Utah? What goes on in Utah?
I probably don't want to Google
that
Utah.
That ain't not one normal thing in Utah.
So she's running for president, and it's not much of a resume, is it?
No.
But do you think it's interesting that the news media hasn't talked much about this?
No, that's on purpose. Because she's not going to have enough support.
Well, of course not. She's a complete waste of time, but
she's not going to have enough financial support. She's not going to have enough physical support to outweigh old Sleepy Joe. So she's wasting her time, and everybody else is involved. And so is that other dude that's running. RFK is the only reason he switched probably to an independent is because he knew.
I think that was make or break for him. I think because he was out of the news for a long time, and I think the only way to get the attention back of the media was to switch parties.
Well, that and he knew there was no way they were going to pick him over Joe Biden because he's probably going to call them out on all their bull crap too. But he's still a Democrat. But at the end of the day, but I think. Like I said, I think that's probably wise because he knew he was not going to be selected and he was wasting his and everybody else's time, and that's the only way he could proceed forward and really proceed forward to the ballot was to be a wild card independent. And the only thing that I'm good with it because maybe he'll take some votes away from Sleepy Joe.
Maybe.
And then maybe. But I don't know.
So I wanted to discuss. So I'm going to try to get through this as quick as I can. I know you want to go home. So what's a woman? What is a woman? Do we know what that is?
I'm a man. I can't.
Do we know what it is? We can't identify. There's a lot of people today that don't know what it is.
Well, from my experience, my wife I'm married to a woman.
How do we identify it?
I mean, I'm pretty sure she's a woman. I watched her give birth to my child, so I'm pretty sure she's a woman.
It's probably the same people that don't know what a fire alarm is.
You're probably right.
He was the principal of a dang school. He didn't know what a fire alarm was.
Who tried to expel a child for pulling the fire alarm for
moron
while he was a principal of a school. Anyway.
Moving on. So I want to get to the topic of wokeism in itself. All of these... A lot of companies have gone woke, and
that's a money grab. They don't actually give a crap about you; they just want your money.
A lot of them have gone woke, and here's the thing: I don't get it really. You know you're going to lose a ton of money. You know you're going to lose a ton of support. You know people are going to drop you.
That is commonly called joining the bandwagon. Which is going along with the flow of everybody else and what they're doing and what they want. And most of the people that are in charge of this probably do think they're doing the right thing, and they probably do give a crap about whatever frivolous group they're trying to support. But nobody else in the company gives a crap. They just want your money. Kind of like for like the Gay Pride Month thing.
Hello.
Kind of like how McDonald's makes gay fries.
Did you hear how? Did you hear that they named a temporary meal after Bubba Wallace?
I bet that sucks.
I bet it's the loser sandwich.
Yeah.
The crappy meal.
Probably some stale fries.
33rd ain't that bad.
Well, it's better than 43rd. But I think it's kind of like how everything changes to the gay flag for Gay Month, and then all of a sudden, at midnight, the next day, it's all gone, and they don't care.
Oh my Lord! You know, Cracker Barrel hurt me the most.
And I love Cracker Barrel. I still eat there.
Cracker Barrel. Well, that's your prerogative. Cracker Barrel going woke hurt me the most.
I don't think they had the gay rocking chairs here.
Well, I don't think they did in the South, or not in South Carolina, but I drove by. I passed by there the other day, and it was lunch, and there wasn't hardly a soul in that parking lot.
Well, you went at lunch.
Hashtag concern. It was about.
Yeah, you went at lunch.
It was about. I passed by there. It was about 12:15.
Yeah, you're supposed to go about like 3:30 when all the old people eat there.
Well.
And I mean, I don't hate gay people. I like there's a lot of my friends are gay. They're great people, but that's not what
that's your prerogative.
That's not what I'm saying here.
That's their prerogative, but they do that. They do that stuff for the wrong reason.
If they cared about you, they wouldn't.
They don't actually care.
They wouldn't need a month.
Who ever told a gay person they couldn't eat at a Cracker Barrel?
I've never seen it happen, and I've ate at Cracker Barrel with a gay person. So.
Well, that one hurt me the most because you can't do those white cracker jokes no more. I used to do
Why? I'm white.
I used to love doing white cracker jokes about Cracker Barrel. This one time at one of my old jobs, my boss called me on the phone, and the phones these days are not accurate when it comes to wrong numbers. Because when he called me, I didn't answer it because it rang up as Cracker Barrel.
Oh, the caller ID thing.
And I was like, why would a Cracker Barrel want?
Maybe you won the stakes.
They're probably worried about me because I didn't come in last week with the rest of the crackers.
Yeah, well, like I said, it's fake support. If they really supported you, they'd support you all year long instead of making their logos the gay flag for 30 days or whatever it is. Just like everything else. Hispanic Heritage Month, Native American Heritage Month. If it was actually, you don't need a month. If you're going to support them, just support them all year. I mean, I don't give a crap who you support, but...
So anyway, I hate to do this. We haven't done much comedy, technically today, but, and I hate to bring up sad stuff during
I'm not funny, so...
And I hate to bring up... were you surprised when, Kellogg's went woke?
Kellogg's went woke?
Yeah, they went woke.
Didn't hear nothing about it.
Well, they did.
Well, they got gay Tony the Tiger?
They had I think so. It was a trans person hugging Tony the Tiger.
Or Tony the Black Panther.
Something like that. But I ain't surprised that Kellogg's went, whoa. Just look what they did to the new Apple Jacks. They're gay as hell.
That is not the Apple Jacks I used to see with the rotten apple chasing around the cinnamon stick. And they were like, weren't they like Jamaican or something? They had a funny accent. Yeah, that was like Disney Channel made that.
That's gay as hell right there.
Well, they make Fruit Loops.
And forgive me for cussing. Sorry, Mom.
She'll get over
it. I got to do the Larry the Cable Guy thing because I got the blue collar shirt. Dear Lord. And
please be with the starving pygmies in New Guinea.
Lord.
Amen.
Dear Lord, I apologize. Oh, wait. I didn't technically cuss, did I?
You said something was gay as hell.
Well, yeah, but I mentioned hell.
I didn't know that the devil
I didn't mention hell. I didn't say what the,
I didn't know if the devil was walking around going, hi guys, welcome to hell.
They probably are.
But, I don't know.
It probably is.
Anyway, but, did you hear Disney's coming out with a new movie?
Which one is that?
It's called Unfrozen. They're going to thaw out Walt Disney's head.
There was a huge conspiracy about it. We're getting a little off topic, but there's a huge conspiracy about that. The movie that came out, I think it was back in 2011, 2012, I don't remember, the movie Frozen, the animated movie Frozen. Mm-hmm. So, rumor has it that a lot of people were doing Google searches on Walt Disney, and they believed that Walt Disney's head might have been frozen somewhere in Disney World.
They've said that for years.
And in order,
he was cryogenically frozen.
And the conspiracy theory is that in order for Disney to get them people to stop searching that online was to create a movie called Frozen.
When you Google Disney Frozen, instead of Walt Disney's head in an ice block popping up, you get some stupid song about a snowman.
Do you want to build a snowman?
No, I don't. I want it to be 98 degrees all year long.
Do you want to walk it down the hall?
No. I don't think that's how the song goes.
I don't remember the lyrics.
I wanted you to build a snowman and put it right next to a warm fire.
Speaking of Disney, and I'm going to touch on this topic fast.
Be careful touching people's topics.
Noted.
That'll get you in a predicament.
Noted. I'm not Joe Biden. I don't just touch people.
Just a little touch.
So, Disney started doing their trance thing, and they were doing this already, but so the Christian shooting earlier on in this month, the shooting at the Nashville Christian Academy.
The Christian
It was a
school,
trance shooter. And
yeah, I remember something about
how people responded, how networks responded to that on television was,
"You're misgendering a horrible person that murdered innocent children. How dare you?" Yeah,
What?
That's what's wrong with that situation.
they all didn't mention anything about the Christian Academy. They just said, we need to be with the trans people right now. We need to be with the trans people right now.
No, you need to be with the families that their little child went to school and then didn't come home.
Now look,
That's what you need.
there was a shooting back in 2022 of November. It was at a gay bar called Club Q in the United States, and 5 people were murdered at it, and 25 were injured. 19 of them were gunfire. I guess you could say that was an attack on the gay people. So I can understand.
I mean, you don't shoot people you like. So,
well,
yeah.
so I can understand why people were upset about that, but what bothers
you shouldn't just shoot somebody because they're gay or black or straight or whatever.
But what bothers me is that the trance shooting happens, and it becomes the same thing. It becomes the same message. It should have been, let's be with the Christians right now. We need to pray for them.
Or at least be with the families of the innocent little children that wackadoodle shot.
And
you can take religion out of it if you want to.
So Cartoon Network for Children had posted on their Twitter, I think it was still called Twitter.
What in the heck is that?
It's stupid.
That looks like the daggum
gay
Powerpuff Girls.
It is.
What's it called? The Powerpuff Dudes?
So transgender people of all ages belong everywhere. We oppose #Trans Day of Visibility to celebrate and respect each trans experience and raise awareness faced by the trans community. So that's what they said. And then Cartoon Network posted this. Addressing someone using their pronouns and name shows that you respect them as their authentic self. We celebrate the journey of our trans and gender conforming friends on this #Trans Day of Visibility. So,
why is a child's cartoon service telling you about that they stand with the transgender people?
So, and it's very interesting because
I can go ask my daughter right now, does she care about transgender people? You know what she's going to say? She's going to point to the TV and want to watch Bluey or Mickey Mouse. She doesn't care.
Well,
she doesn't know and she doesn't care.
Well, so the Hodge twins, I don't remember what it was, evidently said something about it, had responded to them on the Cartoon Network on their Twitter account. And then it wasn't long before Cartoon Network had blocked the Hodge twins, Keith and Michael Hodge.
That's usually what you do when I've got some customers like that that avoid you when they either owe you money or they've done you wrong, or you can't, they know they've done something wrong. People usually avoid you. So if you wanted to have a serious debate, I think the Hodge twins are man enough and mature enough to actually sit down and carry on a normal conversation with you. I don't know what they said or commented.
I don't know either. I don't remember.
But it's probably something to the effect of what I just said. Why are you talking about trans people and gay people on a cartoon? Just put on some Scooby-Doo and shut up.
Well, in Disney and Cartoon Network especially was going all after these trans people. We need to be with the trans people. We need to be with the trans people. Here's the thing.
Okay, y'all go be with the trans people, and we'll be with the normal people.
That was kind of like a big
children.
That was kind of like a big screw you to the Christian community.
It's been a big screw you to them for a long.
That's all it was. And anyway, so I don't know what the Hodge twins said, but I know that they posted, "We got blocked by the Cartoon Channel for calling them woke," laugh emoji. They don't care.
I would care. I think that's how you know you won, because they block you. And I don't think they probably said anything crazy or out of the way to them, especially where maybe children can see it. But
So we've discussed the topic of Cartoon Network. Now let's get to Disney. So Disney used to make a lot of great movies, like the Mickey Mouse movies, The Lion King. I'm gonna name boy and girl stuff here: The Lion King, Snow White, Alice in No, that's not right. That's not Disney.
Alice in Wonderland.
No, it was Alice in Wonderland, and they made Toy Story and Bug's Life and Cars and Wall-E and Up and Ratatouille. A lot of great Pixar films. Incredibles. A lot of great Disney and Pixar films. And then they make a movie with, wasn't very long ago, they made a movie, I think it was called Elemental. A lot of parents
heard of it, hadn't seen it.
A lot of parents were upset about the movie because apparently it included a non-binary character.
You talking about the movie with little drops of water and little
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about.
Why do we need a transgender leaf or a transgender drop of water?
God, I don't know.
This personification of things that do not have genders, some plants have genders, but water does not have a gender. Fire does not have a gender.
And then they recently released a statement saying they wanted at least 50% of their characters in their new upcoming films to be gay, transgender, woman, something like that. Black. It was
So, if there's more than one gender, and if gender is a construct, and women don't exist, and you can't say what a woman is, and you can't say what a man is, how do the bisexual people fit into all of this?
I don't know.
Because that implies that there's two.
But where does it end?
And binary implies that there's two of something. Binary code on a computer is ones and zeros, nothing else.
But where does it end? Because
they probably won't.
What if they start making remix of all the favorites? Like the Lion King, they could make it the Lion Queen. What if they make, instead of Milan, what if they make my man? What if they make,
well, they made a Black Little Mermaid, and I've seen part of that movie.
You saw it?
Yeah, Sydney watched it. I've seen part of that movie, and to be fair, so the Little Mermaid is about Ariel, the mermaid, but she has sisters, and King Trident is her father, who is like king of the seven seas or whatever, and he has 7 daughters, one for each of the seas. And from what I could tell on the movie, every one of the daughters was seemingly a different nationality.
Well, I mean, it's just scary. You're scaring the children.
Well, look, think about it. Disney's been crazy for a long time. Look at like Alice in Wonderland. She's on drugs. The whole thing is a acid trip or something. She's got talking mushrooms and all kind of crazy stuff going on.
Well, you think about this. You go back to in 1996, Disney released a movie with Jonathan Taylor Thomas as the star. It was called "I'll Be Home for Christmas," and I didn't know
the kid from
Home Improvement. Home Improvement. He's the middle kid off of Home Improvement, and he was the star of the movie.
Didn't turn out
so he was the star of the movie, and so in the movie, these guys, he tries to help these guys in college cheat on a test, and it backfires. It didn't work. So then they beat him up and knock him out and leave him out in the middle of nowhere. He was supposed to pick up his girlfriend and take her home for Christmas. And then this guy who's moving in on his girl is begging her to get in the car with him. And then she finally gives up and says, "Well, I guess I have no choice, but I don't want to hear any racist jokes on the way home," or something like that. I don't remember what was in there. I don't remember the line. It was a racist, homophobe something, and I thought to myself, this was a movie in 1996.
See, they've started putting it in everywhere, and that's not a really well-known
That was
movie,
in 1996. That's almost as old as you.
Thanks. Yeah, somebody asked me the other day what my birth date was. I think I was applying for a rewards card at Harbor Freight or something. I don't know. and says, "Oh, you're born in the late 1900s," and I'm like, "What? The late 1900s? What is this, history class?" Good Lord, the late 1900s. I was born in the late 1900s. Yeah, I'm old.
I mean, look, I'm not saying racism doesn't happen, and I'm not saying it didn't happen back then, but geez, why'd you even put that in there? It's a Christmas movie.
I've been called racist names as a white person. Guess
it's
what
a Christmas movie. That don't belong in there.
They're just gonna slip it in wherever they.
But I want to get through this fast. So I've already asked you what you think about all these political topics. I'm going to go ahead and get to the patina part. That shouldn't take too long. So in 2020 and 2021, it was very, and you mentioned this earlier, it was very difficult to get parts in.
Hell, it's difficult now.
It was very difficult to get parts in from O'Reilly's, Napa, Advanced, places like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't even mention this at the beginning, but you are the half owner of Creative Customs Hot Rod Shop. Half CEO.
Hole, whatever you want to call it.
Half hole. You're a half hole. Well, anyway.
Better than a whole hole. I've been called one of those too. But anyway. Continue.
So, and you say it's tough to get parts in now. Why is that? Do you know why?
Like I said earlier, they blamed that one on the UAW strike. Getting some parts from Chevrolet. Material production is down in a lot of places, so they're not making the parts. They don't have the materials to make the parts. A lot of it is we have 90% of this part assembled, but there's one part of it that's missing. We can't get them right now. I hear that all the time. I go in buy stuff that I bought 20, 30 times. And I go in and I give them the part number and I order it and whatever, and it's supposed to be on the shelf. Well, now it's 3 and 4 days or not available, or it's going to be a week, or it's a special order thing. And I hate to keep beating a dead horse and saying that nobody wants to work, but that's part of it. Labor force is down, regardless of what CNN tells you. A lot of it's got to do with that. Part of it's got to do with materials is not available. I used to go to order an engine from O'Reilly's, and I could have it usually the next morning or the day after. And now it's 2 or 3 weeks, and they don't. A lot of stuff they don't have stuff sitting on the shelf. It's like made to order type deal. So they wait until they order it to make it, and then they send it to you. So an engine that I could have bought for $1,200 or $1,400 from O'Reilly's 2 or 3 years ago is now like $1,800, and it's a 2-week wait or longer, whereas it was, I could have it next day for less than $1,300. So there's a lot of the stuff costs more. They're trying to do more with less. They're trying to pay less people less money to do the same output, and people can't keep up, and they don't care, and they're there just to collect a paycheck. And you can see that where you work. I can see that where I work. I can see that where my wife works. The quality of the products have went down severely, so I'm not buying the same products I was. I'm having to order a different product from somewhere else, as opposed to somewhere I could just walk in and buy it from. So there's a lot to it, but mainly it's availability and workforce is what they keep blaming it on. That's what I hear anyway. So
what made you want to get into this line of work? You started doing this when you were really young. You restore old classic cars.
Yeah, Dad does it. I mean, it's just something that
you just picked up the trait.
Something that I enjoyed doing, something I like doing. And I found that I was fairly good at it. People would pay me good money to be good at it.
And you do a lot of
and I stay busy. I mean, I am very busy right now.
And you do a lot of business on your phone.
I conduct a lot of business through my phone. I sell parts. I buy and sell cars. I contact my customers through that. I send invoices over the internet now. I have to call and order. Like a while ago, I had to call Detroit, Michigan to order parts for this truck. I have to call various other places and order parts on my phone. And like I said, a lot of transactions happen over the phone. I have customers that don't live around here that aren't able to just walk in on Fridays and pay their bill. So they send me the money or they wire it or whatever. And I ship out car parts and stuff like that. So yeah, I mean, technology is a big part of it. Even though you're using a antique vehicle that don't have a lot of technology, I can put the technology into the vehicle, and it takes a lot of technology to make that vehicle brand new again.
Well, is a lot of it... I understand that a lot of these parts are faulty. They don't last very long. Is it because they're made in China?
It's China, Mexico, Taiwan, Portugal. I think I put on a part the other day that was made in Indonesia. You're building, it's like Dad said the other day, you're building a truck from the 60s that's made in America, and 90% of every part on it was always made in America or Canada or Mexico, and it's got more Chinese parts on it now than a brand new Honda does. So, yeah, I get brand new parts that are supposed to be a direct bolt on. You're supposed to take 2 or 3 screws out or a bolt out or whatever and put it on, and it ends up being a 5-hour ordeal because it either doesn't fit or you put it on and it's bad right out of the box. And their favorite thing to tell you is, well, we'll give you another one. Yeah, but that doesn't make up for my time. I mean, it's still a 30-minute job.
Well, another thing, they're losing money on this too.
And not that much, because the markup on that stuff's probably ridiculous. You know, a $20 part, they probably got $3 or $4 in, so it is what it is. But they'll give you another one all day, but they don't come put it on for you, and they don't give you your money back for the time you wasted on putting on their crap part.
So where is Creative Customs Hot Rod Shop located?
Valley Falls Road, Spartanburg.
There you go. Stop by.
Or don't.
You don't care either way. It's your business. You better care.
Yeah, no, I'm busy, so if you need me, you need
Well, I meant customers stop by.
Yeah, if you need me, you need to get on the wait list, because I do have a wait list, and it's only going to get longer.
Now, I wanted to discuss something with you. It's not really relevant, but I want to ask it. I was trying to get through it quick. So, after, 32, 33 years of the first Days of Thunder movie.
1990. Came out in 1990.
Something like that, yeah. They have... It's not official. I haven't seen anything official about it. I don't know if I believe it. I do know that, well, I've heard rumors. I don't know if it, but it is interesting to think about. So, and before I go any further, our dad had the opportunity to work on some movies. He worked on cars for some movies, such as Talladega Nights, the Dukes of Hazzard's movie, Black Dog. 2 movies that you may have heard. You might have heard of them. The Fast and Furious, Too Fast and Too Furious.
Also, Doc Hollywood with Michael J. Fox.
Hey. And, of course, Days of Thunder.
Mm-hmm. Days of Thunder was probably the first one.
So they were saying that they were planning on making, well, I don't know if it's true. There were rumors going around that they were planning on making another one. Who do you think they would get to play that part? Because Tom Cruise is probably too old to play that part.
I think if it were up to me in the logical thinking way, would be either he's retired and he's now the crew chief or something to that effect. I think he would probably be like the crew chief, maybe.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Or team owner, or
something like that.
Or his son, maybe he's taking over, or whatever. That's probably how I would spin it, but because I don't think.
Well, yeah, and how much different do you think the technology would have to be for this movie to be modern? Because NASCAR does not look the same as it used to in 1990.
No, and like if you watch the movie, you see that Cole Trickle's first race car for City Chevrolet was built in a barn in North Carolina by Harry Hogg out in the middle of nowhere. That wouldn't fly there today because you'd have you got Hendrick and stuff like that that's got multi-million-dollar operations, and they're all pretty much the same now. You would have
at least the odd Kyle Larson.
You'd have a lot of maybe some CGI involved, whereas like Dad would make the car blow up or roll over in real life. They would probably just fake it or maybe do it once and try to replicate it a bunch of times, or they probably wouldn't tear up as much stuff, or they might, I don't know. But they would probably, all that stuff's farmed out to like people in Hollywood and whatnot now anyway. So a lot of it would probably be handmade on the computer, or it'd be a lot different than the way they did it.
Well, that's another thing. I always wondered for a long time why Dad hated technology, and then it hit me one day. It replaced him, because our dad does not do this anymore because technology had got so far advanced that. So I don't know how many of y'all know this, but when you see a car in a movie, and I think one of the Fast and Furious movies, probably not the last one, I think it might have been the one before last, did a video showing how they do that. It was so the cars you see in these movies are real, but they don't have any cool designs on them or anything like that. All that's computer animated.
Yeah, either that or it's like a bit of wrap, like a big sticker.
Yeah, something like that.
And they go out and they buy like.
But that was mainly what Dad did. He just did decals.
Well, no. All the cars, he did a lot of special effects for Days of Thunder and Fast and Furious. They did a lot of custom stuff and a lot of custom paint jobs, and that's back before they had all that stuff. But the majority of it would now be special effects. It would be like they don't take $100,000 car and blow it up or drop a building on it. They can't blow up a building for a movie. If they do, it's a fake movie or a fake building, and it's scaled and it's a prop or whatever. But no, a lot of that's not real. But
let me ask you this:
you have to tell people that some of that stuff's not real.
Oh my Lord, they're idiots.
They didn't actually go to space in a Pontiac.
Well, of course not.
But
look. So, and another thing. Oh yeah, I remember. If they made a modern day Days of Thunder, I'm not saying it's going to happen, and I'm not going to beat a dead horse, but
it would probably be decently good because the second Top Gun Maverick was pretty good.
Oh yeah, I loved it.
But
get her done. I love it.
I don't know. It would be like a lot of remakes don't need to happen because the original is probably better, and then
let me ask you this: if they came out with one and it came out next year or something, would you go see it?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, probably.
I mean, unless I hear that it absolutely sucks and it's terrible and it was a waste of money, then I'd probably just.
Well, a lot of people have been saying things about the last few Fast and Furious movies. Oh, it's gotten far-fetched. It's gotten this. It's gotten that. Well, look, I agree with you.
Silly.
I agree with you because technically, that started in Fast and Furious, which was the fourth movie. That started after Tokyo Drift. It got far-fetched because we see at the beginning of the movie, Dom is driving his Charger as fast as he can, and that truck's tipping over, and he runs under it. That's where for me I think it started.
That was a Buick.
Well, whatever.
That was a Buick Grand National. But yeah, I see your point. That's probably one of the least far-fetched things they've done since then.
And I think that's when it started. We started seeing that stuff.
The changing of the directors and the
Fast Five, and then the
Han died in the third one, and he blew up, and then all of a sudden he's back like nothing happened, and
yeah, that was. It was supposed to be what happened after.
Yeah, but yet Dom is in the third one, and he comes out and says, "Hey, that Han was a friend of mine," and I understand now that it all makes sense. But back then it didn't.
I still feel like part of it don't. Because if you think about it, so Dom is drag racing the kid who Lucas Black plays in the Tokyo Drift, Sean, and he races him supposedly at the end of the movie. But if your house had just blown up and some guy's on the hunt trying to kill you and your family, why would you stop the drag race?
Yeah,
I feel like that was a writer error.
Yeah, and how did he get was he driving like a Plymouth GTX? How did he get that to Japan?
I have no idea.
As a wanted fugitive.
But anyway, my point was going to be, I got a little off topic. I got distracted. But they say it's far-fetched, but it is still a great movie. And it is still a great movie.
It's a good movie.
It's a great movie. Because look, I watch a lot of action movies today, and they just suck. Well, there's no little... I actually got to watch The Meg 2 the other day. I fell asleep.
Haven't seen it.
I ain't kidding. I did. And I woke up and it was over.
I watched the first one.
The first one was good. The second one was boring.
Look at that movie Nicolas Cage is in where he's a skeleton. What is that? Where he's the skeleton that catches on fire.
I know what you're talking about. Is it Knight Rider?
Knight Rider.
Yeah.
Or Ghost Rider.
Ghost Rider.
Ghost Rider.
Not Knight Rider.
The second Ghost Rider is stupid.
A lot of sequels ruined the originals.
They ruined it's dumb. It's so stupid. But Yeah, most remakes suck. Now, the Top Gun movie was pretty good. A lot of sequels and remakes of movies just suck.
Well, anyway, I'm glad you joined me today. We ran a little bit over longer than I thought we was going to. I appreciate you doing this for me. Dylan Willingham, everybody. He's famous. He's on TikTok. He's a patina.
I'm not famous.
Well, you sort of are.
I got a lot of followers on TikTok. Mostly people probably sitting on the toilet with nothing else to watch.
And go follow me on TikTok as well, just so I can say I got some.
You got some.
I got some followers.
Followers. You need to clarify.
That's what she said.
Well, that's true. But anyway, can't have a good podcast without it. That's what she said.
Hey, look, you may have way more followers, but I'm better looking.
He really just said that. I'll have you know the old black lady at Pizza Inn today told me I had a very nice beard. Thank you very much. You think she'd said that to you? Probably not. It compliments my face. Or my face compliments the beard. Whichever way you want to put it.
Anyway, I appreciate you being here. Thank you. This was great. Join me again next time.